like you to hit the like button at the beginning because every time you hit the like button, you are letting YouTube know that what you are seeing and hearing is edifying for you so it can be shared with others. That's why hitting the like button is so important. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please consider subscribing to the channel.
It had to happen. Your title was so powerful. When I read the name of your ministry, it had to happen.
Let's welcome our host, Erica Wilson.
Great day, everyone. We're here live today with the girl, Erica Wilson, that it had to happen for our Wisdom Wednesdays. And tonight, our topic is perform to perfection. Let me tell you a little bit about our guest one tonight. He is the Carlos Collins. It says here, whether you're a seasoned pro or just starting out, we're here to help you take your skills to the next level. So tonight, we're sitting with the Carlos Collins, and the message I want you all to get tonight is, life is all about giving your best shot, whether it's in your personal life, your career, or hobbies. It's about striving for excellence, right? Pushing yourself to the limit, but also about you getting there. So let's all strive for greatness and perform to perfection. Thank you so much for tuning in with us here tonight. We would love for you to share and like this video. I'm so sorry. I don't know why I'm getting so choked up tonight. But I would like for you to like and share this video right now. And if you can, please do give it a thumbs up and hit the notification button and subscribe button. It will let you guys know every time we go live here at It Had to Happen. So without further ado, let me introduce to some and present to others the Carlos Collins. Welcome. Can
Thank you for having me. Y'all can hear you.
Okay. Thank you so much for accepting the invitation. We're going to just jump right into this thing, perform to perfection. When I got your booking and I saw that, I was like, oh my God, what a great topic. You see, I did change the to the word to, and I don't like that either, because you see here, it had to happen. I actually have the to as well. So I hope you don't mind me changing that. But I want you to go ahead and tell us, where did this name come from?
So me being, once again, I want to thank you for having me on the show. It came from me just one day sitting around trying to think of a way and a title to impact student athletes. Because me being a former student athlete, all the situations I had, to get to where I got to, I was trying to figure out a way to eliminate as many pitfalls for student athletes and not go through the same situation I went through, or situations. So just one day I sat around and said, perform to perfection, because the biggest thing for me is you're not going to be perfect, but if you can get as close to perfect as possible, you'll achieve anything that you want and get all the goals that you're trying to reach.
Wow, that is the truth. But you got to reach up and grab it, right?
You got to grab it.
Yeah. We can't want things for anybody. You have to want that thing in order to succeed. and you're gonna have to go out and get it. So I love that you're doing perform to perfection. But we want to know, who is Carlos Collins? Could you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yes. I'm originally from Cincinnati, Ohio. Um, Played football since I was 8 years old. Had my ups and downs of playing sports. I was a three-sport athlete. So I played football, basketball, and ran track. And actually, the sport I fell in love with first was basketball, and I was really, really, good at it. But then football, based on my family athleticism, led me back to football because I realized uh, my talents and my way to get free education was playing football. So I played football up until high school. Went to a predominantly football rich high school, Cincinnati Moeller, where a lot of famous people went there. Ken Gifford Jr., David Bell, uh, Barry Larkin, Mike Larkin. Just people you probably seen on in the professional world came from that same school. So I played there for 4 years. Later there for 2 years, varsity sports as far as football and basketball and track. From there, I went to the University of Kentucky. I was blessed to receive a scholarship to the University of Kentucky. Led it there 4 years. Started off as a running back, finished off as a DB, which I ended up liking better. From that point, I was in and out the league for 2 years. And the reason I'm gonna tell everybody the story. I cut myself short with the professional football because I got frustrated. And the reason I got frustrated because, again, stuff wasn't going the way I should have. So I just pretty much retired and went from there to doing the right thing. Matter of fact, let me go back a little bit. I graduated from the University of Kentucky with a degree. So when I got done playing ball, I tried to do the right thing and do the corporate world thing, like everybody told me. It just wasn't for me. I mean, I did it for a few years, and from that point on, because the whole time I was in college, I was majoring in business, and my whole mindset was I'm gonna own a business when I get done playing ball anyway. So I did it did the corporate thing for a couple of years, realized it wasn't for me. So then I got into the training world, along with some other entrepreneur stuff, and from that point, that's when I got to my nonprofit organization called Perform to Perfection, where I started training athletes, educating parents on the recruiting process, mentoring student athletes on and off the field, and that's where, it started back in 2012. So I've been doing it now for 14 years. We had success with probably over 600 athletes, over a couple $100 million in scholarships. So we've been blessed. And I figure since I've been doing something right, I think my calling is to continue to do it until I can't do it no more. And that's where we at.
That is awesome. You know what? It's so funny because I had a guy on Monday night. I'm sorry, and he was saying that he played basketball, football, and track, and it all starts out the same way. But you were saying that football is the one that pays your way through college. Not basketball don't offer any scholarships or anything.
No, basketball offered scholarship, but football was my way to pay for college.
Mm,
Because I wasn't getting any basketball scholarship offers. Well, I was getting looks, but I wasn't getting offers like I did with football.
okay.
Because when I was playing football, I mean, I was all state, preseason All Americans. So I was getting the looks and the opportunities playing football versus not playing basketball. So that's why I took my opportunity. Because my goal was not to have my parents pay for college. And that was like I said, one of my missions and goals was, so I had to figure out a way, what sports going to be my school paid for 4 years. So football was it. And that's where my path led me.
That is awesome. Okay, so you also said that you made it to the pros, but you just gave up. And that's one of the things that we don't really hear of people
Yeah.
just giving up because they got frustrated. It's either they didn't make the team or whatever, but not just because they got frustrated because things wasn't going your way. So if you had a kid or an adult that's under the sound of your voice, can you offer them some words of encouragement on about giving up? Because was there ever a time that you thought, man, maybe I shouldn't have given up?
Yeah, it was plenty of times I did. It was just my frustration was made up more about um seeing guys in a position where I thought I should be at. Because I played like my senior year, come out of college. Like I said, I was playing. Pretty much everybody in the secondary that was coming out with me, all landed a spot on the team. Like they didn't get drafted, or they went in as a free agent. And I was like, I was a starter, so I was just trying to figure out, why I'm not, why am I in this situation? They in their situation. So me being the competitive person I was, and me being me loving the sport as much as I did, I don't want to say I gave up. It was just out of frustration. I was like, man, I just can't do it no more because NFL is politics. If you ain't understand anything when it comes to the NFL, it's politics about who you know, who your agent can hook you up with, and to me, it got to the point where it just boiled over. And I tell anybody, you know, it's the best thing to do is retire on your own will. Now, becoming sports, it might be forced because due to injuries and stuff like that. But if you can retire out of sports with your own will, go for it. Because once it's over, it's over. And the
Right.
biggest thing for me was while my frustration when I decided to retire from football, I didn't know what my next move was going to be. Because for like 30 days, that's all I knew was football. I didn't prepare myself in the course of throughout the course of college when it comes to networking and figuring out and all like saying plan B, but figuring out my next steps, knowing the game is going to end eventually. So for 30 days, I was walking around like a zombie. I didn't know what to do because
Mm.
I was that was my my safe house since I was 8 years old. That's all I knew was football. Well, that's all I knew was sports. The football was pretty much my meal ticket. So
Wow.
I tell anybody, man, just play as long as you can. You're gonna go through your ups and downs. You're gonna go through your frustrations. But if you can leave out on your own terms, do it.
And that's a good one there. Don't let football be through with you. You be done with football. And that's a
Yeah.
good quote that a young man gave me once when he was here. And the thing is, you said about the players that went in undrafted or maybe just walked on. That was my son. My son was undrafted. And it was just only by the grace of God that he went to the Jaguars and, basically got in on first teams, right? But the thing
Mhm.
about it, you have to have that drive, as you spoke about in the beginning of the show. You have to want it. I mean, if there's something that you have to really want it. And the thing is, what his mindset was is it don't matter how you start, it matter how you finish. And by
Right.
you saying about retiring, basically being done with football, that's exactly what he did. And he's been now, I think, 2 years now retired and loving it. But another thing you said that stuck out is that's all you knew. That's the same thing we hear from players. So is it that when coming up as a child, even until your teenager years or even in your collegiate years, you
Mhm.
just basically just saying, okay, well, football, that's it, because that was my son thing, that it was just football. It wasn't nothing outside of football.
Yeah.
So
For me, it was, and I'm gonna say this: majority of student athletes or guys who have a chance to play in the league, because I got guys playing the league,
mhm,
is they feel like the only mission is they parents. So their goal is to get to the NFL, so they pay back their parents or pay back somebody that looked out for them or got them where they want to get to. And in the course of that, you're so focused on I gotta get to the league, I gotta get to the league, I gotta get to the league, versus the league. You'll have an opportunity in the NFL, but what other stuff can you do while you inside college sports where you can take advantage of it? And all the resources that guys got in college now or have access to is what guys need to take advantage of. And that's what they
yeah,
don't teach them is as far as, and I tell this story all the time, is if you look on the sideline and you see, I'm not trying to say racist, if you see an old white man on the sideline, look, he's never played sports, he's probably giving money to a university.
yeah,
So that's the person you need to have a conversation with and just talk to him, introduce yourself to him, let you know who you are, because he knows who you are, and just build a relationship with him, start networking with him. I actually did I told one of my players to do this. He was Andy, and I told him, I said, look, man, find one of them boosters on the sideline during the games and just introduce yourself. So he did that, and he did this for like 3 years. So he built a 3-year relationship with this guy that nobody else did. Come to find out, this guy was one of the biggest real estate developers in the city of Nashville. So with him having a relationship with that guy, him being at Vanderbilt, which is one of the most prestigious academic universities in America, him being a 3-year starter, captain, great character, he ended up getting like 2.5 to 3 degrees from the university. When he was done playing ball too, he went to that individual and said, look, I'm done playing ball. I have a couple of can we sit down and have a conversation, have over coffee? And the guy sat down when he at a coffee place, with a business plan for him. And he's an entrepreneur. He works with student athletes just like I do. He has other entrepreneur business he does. Just based on conversation, that guy was one of his solid partners, just based on the relationship they built within the course of him being in school for 4 years. And that's why I try to teach my guys is you can have your goal playing NFL or playing in NBA, but you can have a goal of building networking with people who actually know who you are right now. So when the time is done, you're still fresh in their mind. So they can help you out, whatever you want to do when you're done playing.
Exactly. Oh my God, that is some good advice right there. Because the thing is, they don't really think about the person that's on the sideline, not even the people that's in the stands. Their goal is to focus in on football and do what it is they have to do. And going back to what you said about most of the times the kids are worrying about who they owe or what they want to do for a parent or whoever it may be, is kind of like it take the fun out of the game. You know what I'm saying? Because now, and it's also not always on the child or the kid. It's sometimes the parents or individuals putting that pressure on that player. You see what I'm saying? So, and it's 9 times out of 10, sometimes it's not even what the kid want to do, but just because of the pressure. And if they fail, the parents or whoever putting the pressure don't realize if they fail at it, they're going to end up resenting them because they only did it because of, trying to help out or for them. So that is some great information that you just gave. And just to know that you have, you're teaching your guys this, and you taught that guy that, and he built that, he built that relationship with whoever the guy was, and was able to go circle back, because we all, even so, if you do make it to the NFL, what that says, not for long, right? So football eventually going to be over. So you definitely have to find some ways. What are you going to do next? This is my biggest thing. That's what you said was great about building a relationship. My thing is education. Do you tend to encourage your guys to stay and get their education or leave early?
Right now, with the way of the world and recruiting and transfer portals and all the stuff that's going on in college sports, I tell my guys to graduate in 3.5 years, which is easy now, because with a lot of players taking online courses, a lot of players going in early, it allows you to get on a fast education, what allows you to graduate a little bit faster. So for me personally, when my guys talk about, hey coach, I don't want to transfer because I want to come out, my first conversation is, how far are you from graduation? Because you can't take the piece of paper from me. Once you get the piece of paper, you can do whatever you want to do after that. So that's the conversation I have with them. So most of the conversation with me is make sure you get your degree first, and then after you get your degree, and then we'll talk about what's next for you. So pretty much just the straightforward conversation I have with my guys, because people tend to say, well, I'm gonna go back to school and get my degree. I'm gonna go back to school and get my degree. Because once you get caught up in NFL, NBA, and some other. Yeah, come back get your degree is on the back burner. But you know, when you, if you come back and get it, kudos to you, because a lot of players I've talked to, they said, man, I promised my mom I get a degree, promised my dad I get a degree, promised my parents I get a degree, and they go back and get it. But again, with the way college sports is right now, it's set up for you. It's set up for you to graduate 3.5 years. So go get
Wow,
it.
that is
Yeah.
awesome. I did not know that. That is so awesome. And the thing is, I'm telling you, you're hitting everything on the head that I love. Once you get that piece of paper, that's something nobody can never take from you. That is a great milestone to have. And a lot of times, again, they're going to have pressure again of the outside people. Well, I have to leave early because I have to go and feed my family or feed whoever it may be. So it's a lot of pressure on the children, right? But that piece of paper, again, I always said to anyone that I speak to, education was always first. Like there was no option. There was no other option. You don't get the grades, you don't play. That's just it, But there's life after football, and we have to be able to teach our children this, because you hear so many of them saying that basically football, 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 that's the focus. The focus, not even if you have a family, your focus is not on that family. Your focus, but they want you focused straight on football. But who are you when you take that uniform off? Who are you when you take that helmet off? This is something that we have to make sure we're implementing in our programs that we're offering to these children, that they can know this. Because at the end of the day, we want them to excel not just in one level, but in the business world as well. Make it make sense for you. You're setting yourself up for the next 40, 50 years of your life. Parent or whoever it is that put the pressure on you, what you'll see the difference once football is over with some parents and some people. You will definitely see the difference when you're playing and when you're not playing. Okay.
Yeah.
So, but
Yeah.
you know what I'm talking about, right?
No, I know what you're talking about. But today, with today's professional athletes, a lot of people just don't pay attention as much as they need to. With today's professional athletes, a lot of professional athletes are building their next steps while playing games on Sundays. And the reason I say that is, if you look at some of these high price and star athletes, they're putting themselves in the community a lot more as far as building their brand. Because they know, if I create a certain lifestyle in the NFL and NBA, I want to continue that lifestyle when I'm done playing. So I got to position myself so when I'm done playing, I can continue what I started and don't have to worry about backtracking when I'm done playing. So a lot of professional athletes are getting a little bit smarter. I ain't saying they're getting a little bit smarter. They are a little bit smarter now because they're building their next step within the course of playing throughout the course of the season, all season stuff like that. Because, like I said, I got a couple guys in the NFL, and usually Tuesdays they day off. So what they're doing now on Tuesdays is they're having meetings with whatever they want to endeavor when they're done playing. Say, for example, it's real estate. On Tuesdays, instead of sitting at home playing on the game, they'll go to the facility, work out in the morning, watch film, and then they have a meeting with a real estate developer after that, and start building a relationship like that. Start acquiring and educating themselves on their next phase of their life, understanding that you can do it while you're playing.
Yep.
And if you constantly start reading stuff and read about athletes and what they're doing in the course of a season, you can see now that them guys are getting a little bit smarter and they're preparing for, when it ends. So,
and that's why you have P2P Academy, people like yourself who's teaching. No, honestly, that's why you have programs like yourself that's teaching these young guys this, because they don't even know like a lot of stuff that they're that's due to them, that they have access to, because it's not being told to them, even on the college level. Now, this college thing, now I'm gonna touch on this, because think about it. You have college players making more than NFL players. Think about that. When this NIL thing came out, I was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. But here it is. If you have a kid So if you have that kid that did that 3 years, graduated in the 3 years, I'm sure they could further their education, of course. But what if they decide, if you had a player and he, graduated within the 3.5 years?
Right.
Would be your if he can't just say, well, coach, I think I want to go ahead and I want to stay another year. What will be, how would you like, what would be that, how would that conversation be like? Because the thing about it, if you graduated and you could go ahead into the league and you probably just say, because they tell you where they think you're going to go, right? And
Yeah.
just say
Yeah.
going, I'll just give it a third round, say third round, and he
Right.
tell you that he wants to stay. What would be how that conversation would be?
So if he decided he want to stay, which I've had that conversation before. We go back and look at the draft, what they call a draft grade. So if you get a draft grade and comes back third round, then we go through the evaluation and see what he needs to improve on. So if we come to the conclusion that you need to improve on, for example, your speed, strength, whatever, we tone down and we sit down and have a conversation and say, okay, can you improve on this? How can you improve on this? So if he says, coach, I'm gonna go back and do this, and do this to try to increase my stock, I'll say, cool. So, but the thing is, we come up with a plan along with myself, but he has to go back and talk to his coaches, his college coaches too, to let them know, okay, this is the evaluation I got. This is what I need to improve on. Can you guys help me get there? And if everybody's on the same page, you just come back and do what you're supposed to do. Then we have some instances where a guy, one of my players who went to, so you have a difference between FBS, which is like the Power Forwards, and the FCS, which is little Division One schools. So I had a player who graduated in the FCS division and pretty much wanted to try himself, wanted to try to get in the FBS, which is a bigger school and a bigger conference, because he was highly recruited in high school. He was All-American, all Mr. Everything, had the film, had the accolades. He's like, man, I want to give myself a promotion. Cool. So what we did was we put together pretty much a resume to send out to college coaches at a higher division. He sent it out, and he got picked up by a SEC school. So now he's finishing his next 2 years at SEC school, and he's loving it. But it's just different. It all depends on the situation. And we can all say that I got to take care of my family and this and that, but the situation has to be the right fit. Because if we talk about if we talk about the NFL and all this other stuff, as far as take care of your family and me being honest and me being transparent, you can't take care of your family off your first contract. I'm sorry, you can't.
You cannot. You're absolutely correct. And that's
So,
something that, parents and grandparents, whoever is raising a child, need to know that. So that's what we try implement in our program, Mothers of Motivated Sons, because we like to talk to the moms, because we know like 9 times out of, well, not 9 times, maybe most of the times, a lot of these kids are coming out of single parent homes, right? Or just single parent homes, but they're coming from low income families as well. So you have where you want to be able to tell these parents, please not to put so much pressure on your child, because at the end of the day, they have enough pressure already. Because one, you have to get your job, and two, you have to keep your job. You understand?
right.
So if you have an injury, and just say like you got frustrated and you walked away. And if they chose to walk away and you said you didn't even know what else to do outside of that for the first 30 days, even
Right.
when players make it to the league and just say football is done with them, they don't know how to cope with that because that's all they knew. So now you're talking about putting these players in programs. Now, when they accept these programs, now they have a label on them that will follow them. If you're following me, they have this label on them that will follow them and will hinder them from getting a job. But while you're playing, even in college, you have access, well, they have access to therapy.
Yeah.
We're not talking to our kids about it's okay to go to therapy. So now, if you're done with our football is done with you, what is your next move? Well, how is P2K? I mean, I'm sorry, P2P talking with their guys life after football?
So we have a conversation to say, okay, what do you feel like you're best at fitting in the community? What do you like to do? Um, what would you what is you what are you striving for for life after? And some of them like, I'm a coach. So we set up, we're gonna talk to high school coaches, college coaches, and they're doing internships. Um, some of them like going to the corporate world. And so we'll set up how to fix their resume. Make sure your resume is where it needs to be. And then we'll go through, some of the people that they build relationships with and probably have a conversation with them so they can guide them in the right direction. It's sometimes a hard conversation because again, like for myself, if somebody would talk to me when I abruptly retired from football, I didn't want to hear nothing else. I was just bummed. Like I was just frustrated, bummed. I just didn't want to hear anything. Them guys are the same way because again, if you haven't positioned yourself to prepare yourself for the next level, you get frustrated or you have bad attitudes because you don't know what the next step is for you, and you don't know how to handle it. So, and I agree with you as far as the therapy part, because if you look at any colleges now, if you look at any NFL team, NBA team, basically any professional team, period, they're hiring a lot more sports psychologists for situations like this, for athletes who are on the back end of their career, athletes who are in and out of teams, because they want them to make sure that they pretty much don't fall off the deep end when it's all said and done.
Yeah, and it is hard because if this all these kids know, then they don't see no other way. They do not see
Right.
no other way. But I also had someone on here too, like Carter's Corner. They were talking about even if you don't make it to the field, what about you get paid for setting up the field. You get paid to be a trainer. There's different areas. If you just really want to stay connected to football, it
Yeah.
can be coaching, but you do have other areas where you can go and make money as well. It may not be as great as being on the field, but still it's if you just have to be connected to football. And some men, they feel like they just have to stay connected. However, you have a student athlete, right? There's
Mm-hmm.
we're going to touch on the NIL because I'm still learning about this. So you have a student athlete, right? And this student athlete, uh, top tier, like he's on everybody's radar. We know that he's getting probably some mega bucks, right?
Mm-hmm.
NIL not for everybody, correct?
No, it's not for everybody. They pay with NILs is they pay who they want to pay.
Got
That's
you.
it.
Okay.
That's pretty much how it works.
So can you say that's pretty much like NFL politics? You see?
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
so it's even in college. Okay. So all
yeah.
right, so everybody don't get this. So what happens if you have a player that maybe is good as well? However, it's the coach's favorite. Do the coach play a part in the NIL deals, or that's strictly between uh the company and the player?
So with the coaches they stay out of the NIL space because a lot of
Okay.
some because I have a lot of contact with college coaches. I got former teammates that are college coaches, and they stay out of that because they just don't want to be part of it. Their thing is our job is to coach the players, win games, make sure we're ready for Saturdays, Fridays, Thursdays, whatever days we play on. I can't get involved with that. So the NIL is pretty much what they call a collective, which is pretty much a group of boosters or companies,
Right.
and they pretty much control who they want to pay, how much they want to pay, and all that good jazz. So it's pretty much, the companies, the boosters, people who donate money to the program, sponsors of the other universities and stuff like that. They're pretty much in charge of, paying these athletes.
Okay. So now you have this student athlete that maybe is a booster or one of those NIL people that want to speak to this kid. Should this kid have a representative?
I would say yes. And the reason I said it is some of I would say yes just because some of the contracts that are presented to some of these student athletes or contracts that benefit more the company than it does the student athletes. Because it's their language, it's their lingo, and if you don't understand the contract and you sign into a contract and it doesn't pan out the way that you think it should, they pretty much got hooks in you. That's why I said if you get a contract, so for example, my players, I got some players that got NIL deals, and I say if you get a contract, either send it over to me and let me look at it, or find an attorney and send it over to the attorney. And because if you don't understand the contract or you don't understand the bottom line, some instances, some of these companies be tied to you when you make the league, and people don't see that though. Well, if you didn't read the contract, understand the contract, and then have somebody read the contract for you and explain the contract for you, that's how they get how they get over on you in the long run. Because usually NIL deal is supposed to be a year-to-year thing or a season-to-season thing. But if I can screw you over, I'm gonna screw you over. I mean, that's the way it is. So
Wow. Well, and that's you have to watch the clauses inside of these contracts, right? And definitely small writing. You definitely want to do that. So that was great information that you just shared. Because if it's something that you don't understand, and we all know that a lot of times these players, they're so bombarded, not just with practice, but they have to do the workouts. We speak about college now. You have to do practices. You have to do your schoolwork. You have to do your training. They just have so much going on, and everything that sounds good is not good. So I'm glad that you put that out there. Have someone to look over these contracts to make sure you're not tying yourself in for the long haul. Because if it's they're giving it to the elite players, but what happened said, maybe they coming out next year. And maybe there's a clause in there saying that this contract carries over to, perhaps if you make it to the NFL. Again, that was such great information that you have. Oh, that was very, very good. So I hope someone took something from that, because at the end of the day, our goal is to protect the players, protect these young guys. That is a big goal right now, because there's so many that's falling by the wayside. And again, I commend you for the program that you offer, and you have people on different levels. So you have high school, you have college players, you have players in the NFL, so you could pretty much come from any type of angle. But when it comes to these NIL deals, it's also they're constructed. Say you're a receiver. I love my receivers. That's why I said that. Say you're a receiver, right? You have to have. I can speak by about the NFL. Inside of these contracts, see, people look at the big numbers, right? But they don't know that I have to make so many touchdowns. I have to make so many yards. I have to have so many catches, right? So it's all ties into the same thing. But college, break that down for me a little bit with the NIL thing. Because say, for instance, they gave this player this money and this player does not perform. What happens?
Well, there's But they don't perform because so go back. We just said the difference between is NFL, what they call performance bonuses, incentives, and all that good stuff. Where in college, it just you just get the money. So and it's based on potential production. So if I give you, say for example, if I give you, $50,000 to represent my company on an NIL deal, my thing is I wish, I hope, and I believe that you're gonna have a successful season. If you don't, I mean, I just lose out on that $50,000. There's no clauses in it. There's no incentive bonuses. It's not performance bonuses on these contracts. And that's why I said, and I'm not against NIL because trust me, if you get paid, go get your money, go do what you need to do.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
if I'm a company and I'm investing, say $50,000 into this player, there's going to have to be some stipulations in it.
That's
It
what
is.
I'm saying. That's like
They
giving
don't
away
do it
free.
though. Yeah, because the companies look at it like it's cheaper to market through the student athlete than it is to pay a marketing company through the course
Right.
of a year, because you got a student athlete who's a star on the team. Well, he gonna have thousands of followers. He's always gonna be on TV. He's always gonna be in the limelight. Hey, that's a cheaper way to market my product versus going to a marketing company and pay someone paid up to six figures or $1 million in advertising. I
Wow.
gotta pay that.
Yeah. But the thing
So
about
now
it,
it's
like, go ahead. I'm
go
sorry.
ahead.
You have a lag,
Nah,
so
it's just
I'm
to figure out. It's a strategy behind marketing one-on-one now to try to figure out how I can advertise my product the cheapest way. And the cheapest way right now is to get student athletes to do it, because you got a student athlete who's getting money. You got a student athlete that, again, is constantly on TV. You ain't got to do that no more. You use the athlete to do it and hope you get your return on your investment.
but see, that's my thing. Okay, so basically it's everything's a risk. So
There's a high risk.
yeah, so it's a high risk, right? So what you
Mhm.
mean to tell me, if you were an NIL agent, I was the player, and you paid me six figures, right?
Mhm.
And I didn't go out there and perform. That just means that I keep the money and that's just your loss.
Yeah.
Wow.
Unless you put it in if you put in a stipulated contract, you do. Because if I sign a contract saying I'm gonna pay you $100,000 for this season, and we both sign on it and we agree on it, the kid, student athlete's gonna win regardless. If I get hurt and don't do anything, I got 100,000.
That's what I'm saying. Wow. So that okay, well, so it's a gamble, pretty much. It's a gamble. There,
Yeah.
yes, it is. It's a gamble. So you, oh wow. So now, okay, say for instance, I'm you're my NIL agent, and I go out there and I get myself in trouble. Now this is a big hit on your company as well, because guess what? I'm representing your company. So that's just like our children. When we tell our children, when you leave the house, you make sure you represent me
Right.
well. So I got myself in trouble. So now Coach Collins done invested all this money into me. What happens?
You can void that contract. So there's some of the contracts
Okay.
um are voided contracts based on, you have to act the fool and keep the record and such.
Mm-hmm.
I could that contract really part of our pretty much it's not part of our agreement. So part of our agreement is you got to represent in a manly fashion in
Okay.
order to receive the benefits.
Uh-huh. So,
So
okay, say for instance, if I'm not
mhm.
performing, can you void the contract in the middle of it?
Depends
If
on how
you
the contract set up.
Okay. All right. And this money that they get paid, is this like one lump sum or over time?
Some of the majority is over time. Nobody, yeah. So when they do it, and they do it majority of the time, but they do it over the course of a time. because to me it's too much like a deposit. If you gonna make
Yeah,
it simple, you know, and it's just a seed. But no, they don't never give them a whole up front. They get to them in monthly installments or stuff like that.
I know, because I'm telling you, I was reading some things and I see some staying in penthouses, some
Yeah,
driving Rolls Royce trucks and these luxury cars. And I'm just like, oh, they're making more money. Then let's jump off of that because that's that. Now we're going to talk about this 5th year, 6 year thing because that's another thing. I know you have a 5th year, I know about that, but I didn't know that there was a 6th year. So, do you know a little bit about that? Can you explain?
yeah. So you got COVID year. So here's how it could work. You had the COVID year where they gave everybody extra year in COVID in 20 and 21. And then if you get hurt, well, no, you can get COVID year, you can get red shirted. And then if you get hurt, you can get a medical red shirt. So that's 3 years right there. And then you actually start playing with your 4th year. And then you still got eligibility left for 2 years. So that's how dudes is doing. That's how everybody's getting like 6 years.
So that only came into play for COVID, though, right?
Yeah, that's COVID. What we call COVID babies, or COVID athletes. COVID. My daughter was part of it. So
Right.
that's COVID.
Wow. Oh my God. Well, hey, there it is. Guys, we're here live today with your girl, Erica Wilson, and it had to happen for our Wisdom Wednesdays. And we have performed to perfection with the Carlos Collins from P2P Academy, guys. If you're not following him, I'm going to put up his information right now. Mr. Collins, can you tell us how one can get in contact with you or maybe even just follow you?
So you can follow me via Instagram, P2P Sports. So P2P with the number 2, and then for Twitter, it's P, the letter T, P underscore sports. That's my Twitter handle. Or you can email me at p2pprep@gmail.com.
As you heard it here, P2P prep at gmail.com.
Yes, ma'am. So P2P prep@gmail.com.
Okay. And on IG, it is P2P. How did I put 2? What's going on with me today? P2P
Sports.
Sports on
Yes, ma'am.
IG, guys. Let me go ahead and correct that really quick. And this is on IG, guys. P2P Sports on IG. Do you have a Facebook?
I do, but it's under my personal name, Carlos Collins.
Okay, but we want to follow your business pages. So we have it P2P Sports on IG. Give me Twitter once again, please.
P as in Paul, the letter T, P as in Paul again, underscore sports.
All right. And that is on Twitter, guys. And give us your Gmail once again, please.
P as in Paul. Hold on. P2P prep at gmail.com.
Look, I don't know what's going on with me today. I don't know, Mr. Collins. I don't normally get nervous like this, and I don't know why I'm nervous. I just have no clue what's going on. But he's on Twitter, guys, on IG, and his email we will have put up. So let me ask you this: why are you doing the things that you're doing right now, Mr. Collins?
I feel it's needed because I don't want the student athletes to go through the pitfalls and headaches that I went through when I came out of high school. And, because it's a lot more tougher now, especially with social media and how recruiting works and how cutthroat it is. So I felt it's my job, my duty, my calling, how you want to look at it, my mission to try to ease the process, just try to ease the process as much as possible, because I understand that a lot of players want to play at the next level, but don't understand how to get to the next level and succeed at the next level. So I think it's just, like I said, my job is to, be the educator, provide the information to make sure they accomplish their dreams and goals, and hopefully be in the same shoes I was in.
That's good right there. That is so good. So let me ask you, what have been the most defining moments that have shaped your life? Well,
Besides having my besides the birth of my kids and me getting married, um, helping one of my players, one of my first clients to go to college for free. Um, my first client, he was he was an offensive lineman, and I usually don't train offensive lineman, but his parents begged me to help him out. He was an offensive lineman. Um, he was 6'5", 6'6". He can't teach height. 275 pounds, but it was pretty much, you know, a project. So we went through the process for like 2 years, and he ended up getting like, I don't know, 15, 16, 17 offers to like major schools. And for him to sign a national letter of intent to go to school for free and succeed, and right now I think he's a CEO of a corporate company. That's the defining moment for me. Is make sure we started something, we finished something, and it's continued on. So I went from him to, again, over 600 athletes, and we've been blessed and honored to assist as many student athletes as possibly can, and we're gonna continue to do it as long as I, Lord willing, I can.
amen. Oh, that's it right there. You know what I love? See, that's what I'm glad you said that. It's something that you normally wouldn't do. So sometimes we have to step outside of our comfort zone, right? And we
Mhm.
never know how God is going to work this thing out. And here it is. That was that became one of your defining moments outside of your marriage and your kids. But just to know that this young man is excelling, man, that is just it right there. So sometimes when you don't feel like it or you don't want to do it, and you think like, man, this outside the box, try it. Try it. Try stepping out the box sometimes, because look what Mr. Collins did for this young man. So I salute you, Mr. Collins. That is so amazing. Your program, I'm going to read up some more on it, but I think you're doing a phenomenal job. You said over 600 student athletes. The scholarships you are had given out. It's just amazing to have, again, on every level, from high school, college, and to the pro level. That says a whole lot right there. Even for ones to make it to the league, to still come back and have relations with you, says a whole lot. Says that you have made a huge impact on their lives. So if you have a mother, a student athlete that's out there, can you just offer them some words of encouragement about sports, or just any words of encouragement that God has put on your heart to share with our people today?
My biggest information I can give parents or parents or student athletes as a whole is educate yourself. Learn how this works, um, and make sure you're doing it for the right reasons. Make sure your student athlete loves the game or sport that they're pursuing. Because a lot of the times the parents are living through their kids, and the kids really don't love the sport, and then it turns out, in a bad situation versus in a good situation where you as a parent, because I'm a parent of a student athlete, the thing is, for a parent, you need to go enjoy the game, enjoy watching your kids play sports, and just follow their dreams, help them follow their dreams, help them accomplish their dreams. I know there's going to be ups and downs, there's going to be pitfalls. It's not going to go, the way everybody think it should go. But just be there for support and more support, financial support. A lot of these sports right now is expensive, but more than anything, mental support, because a lot of these kids are not going to get to
Mm.
certain situations the way they thought they should. For example, I got some players now that I get a phone call. It seems like every day from a kid saying, "Man, coach, when am I going to offer? When am I going to offer?" That kid already got an offer. Again, everybody's path is different. Everybody, as long as you continue to work, put in the work, man, your time is gonna come. Everybody, just keep doing what you're supposed to do. As long as you keep doing what you're supposed to do, long as they continue to do what they're supposed to do, it's gonna work itself out.
Yes.
So, so
Mm.
again, when you do this, do it for the love of your student athlete loving the game. Because if you treat it like a job, at age, and keep in mind, these kids 15, 16, 17 years old. Let them live their life. So you got to let them live their life too. Because if you turn to a job too early, they're going to get burnt out real quick.
Oh, wow. That was good right there. That how they say in church, pass the offering plate. This is so much great information, Mr. Collins, because I'm telling you, parents, student athletes, guys, I hope you took something from this because all of this information was good that Mr. Collins has given us on today. Please do follow him on Twitter. It is wait, hold on, let me get it. P2P underscore sports on Twitter. And then it is P2P sports on IG. And he also have an email. It is P2prep@gmail.com. That is how you can get in contact with Mr. Collins. P2P Academy, guys. If you're in what areas are you accepting any new kids? How does that go? How does the recruiting process go for your academy?
Nah, because I'm in the Louisville, Kentucky area, so I pretty much work with the kids in my area. But if parents outside of my area have questions about the recruiting process, have questions about academics, just have any questions when it comes to college sports, professional sports, high school sports, I mean, you can email me. You can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, message me, and I'll respond back, as quick as I can. Just because I'm here for knowledge. That's it. If I got some knowledge to give to you, I can give it to you. If I don't have the answer for you, trust me, I got many resources across the United States can answer any question that's needed to make sure everybody's on the same page, everybody gets what they need, and everybody's, again, it's helping the process and make sure they fulfill whatever goals and dreams they're trying to accomplish.
Amen. That's good. But we're going to close the show with this because I'm looking at your shirt that you're wearing and it says Black coaches are dope. Is that something that, from P2P Academy, or that's just something that you're just wearing today?
So it's something I'm wearing today, but I'm also supporting one of my coaches' friends. So we did a 7-on-7 event, minority coaches 7-on-7 event last month. And one of the things that the purpose behind the event is to bring together minority high school football coaches and let everybody know we can act right when we're around each other to influence kids. And one of his brands that one of the coaches had out there was, he produces stuff for Black coaches. So he gave me one of his shirts. I said, man, give it here. I do podcasts. I'm on live events. I'm going to promote your business and promote your shirts. And that's how it is. But I got a few looks a couple of times. I wore it out some other places, but I don't care. I don't. Because
right.
at the end of the day, a lot of our coaches are coaching us. We have more influence on us than some of the other coaches. So we deserve, along with my other guys that I know are coaches, they deserve the praise just as much as everybody else. They deserve the accolades more than anybody else because I'm not in the school building. Coaches I know are in the school building, so they're dealing with kids for 8 hours a day, along with going to practice. So they got to take time away from their families and other activities and stuff that they want to do to get back to our young men and women, in the course of their time. So that's why I support organizations like this. I support brands like this. Anything minority, I try to get involved with it because I see it and I understand it.
Right.
So
and you can be genuine about it, right?
Yeah.
So shouts out to the young man who made the shirt. I like the shirt. It's really dope. It's really a dope shirt. So I'm gonna have to get you over It Had to Happen shirt and let you promote.
I'd be happy to do that. Yeah, I promote anybody that supports me and believes in what I do. I'll share the same love back to them because we all in it together. We're not just doing it just to be doing it. We all doing it to help build our community.
Yep, that's it right there. So we could end the show right with that. So, guys, we thank each and every one of you for tuning in here with us tonight at It Had to Happen for our Wisdom Wednesdays with for a Perform to Perfection with the Carlos Collins. Guys, if you have not, I pray that you took something from this broadcast because there were so many jewels that was dropped on tonight. If it has blessed you, please do share it with a student athlete, a mother, a father, or an aspiring athlete and their families. This broadcast was so informative and so amazing. Please do share it, guys. I'm telling you. And if you have not subscribed, please do subscribe. Hit that notification button, and it will let you know every time we go live here at It Had to Happen. Guys, on Monday nights, we have our NFL Mom Show at 6 p.m. On Tuesdays, we have our prayer broadcast with Girls Talk Tuesday with Dr. B at 6:30. And Wednesdays and Thursdays, we have the floor open for guests like Mr. Collins. Please do go ahead and book. If you would like to book, you can go to my website, www.ericawilson.com. IH2H.com. I would love to have you. Mr. Collins, we don't like leaving this broadcast. And first of all, thank you. Thank you for accepting the invitation. This information was great. We were on the same page. I love everything that you said because one of the things I'm very, very big on education. Sports, yeah, okay, but very, very big on education. And that's one of the things we need to do is educate our kids off the field. It's needed bad, very, very badly. And like you said, we're all in it to serve the community. And that's what it's all about. So thank you once again. And shouts out to you, James Tedder, if you're listening in, sending Mr. Collins my way. I really, 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 really appreciate it. Thank you so much, Miss Cleveland. But Mr. Collins, we don't like leaving this broadcast without sending them some virtual hugs. Oh my God, and some virtual love. Let me see if I can get my hearts. Come on, get my hearts. Oh, there we go. We love you guys here at It Had to Happen. We can't do this without you, and you. Until next time, guys, have a great day and be blessed. See you guys tomorrow. I have Miss Coach. I'm sorry. I have Coach Salisbury here tomorrow at 6 p.m. Please do come on in. He says how to use football as a tool. Bring your student athletes and your families on tomorrow at 6 p.m., guys. Until next time, guys, bye-bye.